Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. I have a card reading today for you, and I was asking the question that came to me lately quite often. What does it mean to be authentic? Oh, I am authentic, but people who say that, they still play the game of the false matrix. So, how can we become authentic? We have to shift the whole consciousness about what we have learned. Everything what we have learned in school, everywhere, from education, from our parents. And I'm not saying this as a blame because our parents did not know better. They were completely embedded in this false matrix too. We were embedded in this matrix for generations, a very, very, very long time. So this is something that it's very important not to blame anybody, but to move forward in consciousness and to realize what was happening on planet Earth. Why do you think you're here? Why do you think you are listening, for example, to this video? And why are you searching for something more meaningful, more powerful in your life? Because you belong to that team that has come down here, incarnated from a higher realm to help the whole process of accelerating the evolution, the consciousness level, to help the consciousness level to rise. And this is a little bit the story of the spy. We came in here, we dressed like human beings in a human body, but we are in fact not really human bodies. We're not from here. Our true self, the divine self, what is a self with a capital S, is the divine source. Now, when we have the divine source, the creative divine source on one hand, we have those who created the false matrix to enslave us, they got lost in darkness. They thought, oh, we don't need God anymore. We are powerful enough. And the WEF, there is this guy Harari, what is his name? Harari something, the guy who want to re-engineer humanity. And this is a very typical sample of this kind of people, and others talk like this too, several of them. But the important thing is to understand that this is not the human way. The nature of a human being is be creative. The nature of a human being is like a little spark of the divine creator is living within you. Science has in the meantime discovered that there is a fifth heart chamber. I don't want to talk much about this, but just think about that could be the seed of this divine spark in the physical body. And within this divine spark, we have all the energy and everything what we need. We don't need anything outside of that. This is the power that everybody actually has, otherwise they wouldn't be alive. So those negative beings, also called archons or dark angels or whatever, they were originally in the angelic realm, and they have taken the job to oversee the darkness, and the angels and the Elohim, they have taken the job to oversee the light. So they fell into a state where they cannot create anymore. So they need to use those who still have light to create for them, because they can engineer, which is all coming from the brain, but they cannot create. And the life energy, the source of the life energy, is mostly blocked. So they need ours. So that's why they reign with fear, terror, and they make human beings afraid so that they follow. And the whole brainwash goes in this direction, that most of humanity actually is afraid. And you can see that. I mean, if you have observed the whole pandemic stuff that's going on, and the worst thing is now you can see still people running around with masks, here at least, and I see it in other places too. And even if I've been talking to them, to some of them, and told them how bad the mask is, they still wear them. They don't get it, because I think their brain cells are already so much dead that they cannot even comprehend that anymore. And most people are still following like sheep the masses. So all those awake, remember that. And these numbers came up. I don't remember the numbers exactly, but say, for example, if we have somebody with a very high consciousness level, or just a consciousness level that is based in benevolence, not even very high, can already counterbalance the darkness of 200,000 to 300,000 people. It's absolutely awesome when you look at these numbers. And this is also, we have to be very clear, and I say that again, I hate to say it, but I say the whole new age and everything what is connected to it is hijacked. We get false information there, and still a lot of also video stuff out there is based on that. Just like, what I'm doing is astrology with the real star constellations. Then we have the whole chakra, the whole yoga, the whole thing like that, which is actually feeding the elite and those beings behind it, that with certain position or opening, closing certain energy centers, they can take your energy. And it is very important that you understand that the only energy center that we really have, which is the divine, our own center that is based here in the heart. And as far as I understand it, that is connected to that fifth heart chamber. And is from there, you imagine it as a little light, and then we can expand it until we sit in a bubble of light. And you know that darkness is the absence of light. Darkness cannot penetrate light, so you're safe. It's only when you have still dark points or areas within yourself where they can attack. And these areas are mostly connected to sadness, to fear. This is like a hole in the aura where they can get in. I know from my own experience, believe me. And the only thing what we can do is to penetrate that is from the inside out. So I was asking about authenticity and about what can we do to get there, to really understand what is going on. And I shared the screen now with the cards that I get, and I was surprised. They are extremely beautiful cards. So the first card is abundance. Now, what is the system doing? The system is telling you there is not enough. And as long as we believe the system, we are in a state of lack, in a state of loss, of dependency also in another way, because we do not believe that we can create abundance ourselves. But just go and have a look in nature. Nature shows us that abundance is everywhere. Look at a flower, one single flower, how many seeds? Or look at a tree. I just had one tree here. They make very, very long kind of beans, and the whole tree is full of these beans, and each of these very, very long beans have about maybe 20 seeds. And I had young trees coming up all around in this area, and we took some and we put it in a pot so we can plant them later. And I didn't have to pay for these trees, right? I have grown some orange trees from seed, but unfortunately some kind of whatever, I don't know, fruit flies or whatever they are out there, they ate most of the leaves. So we're taking them in now, and I'm gonna spray some neem. I put the leaves in water, spray some neem water, and then they will come again because they're still very much alive. So see, this is why this floating cup with the gold coins inside, if you are connected with the divine within and you see that this cup is not standing on the earth. So this is the connection to, we can say, to self, and again, the capital self, or some people say higher self or whatever. whatever words you use, sometimes it's really difficult to understand, to comprehend, or to understand, not under. It's so difficult with the words in the moment. I see a lot of connections with words, but it's a habit. And even because English is really not the first language I learned, about the fifth or so, even if I don't remember all the others, but it's more difficult to do and to navigate the language if it's not your mother tongue. So the card indicates that the abundance is here and does not have to come from the earth. It comes from spirit. It comes from spirit. It comes from creativity. You attract it the moment that you're aligned with the higher self. And what is happening then, Phoenix, is like that the earthly self that is now the connection of the false matrix, that self is being burned. And here you can see that is actually a situation that you have a love position of Shiva Shakti here with the red, what is the red stone? A ruby. And they are actually, see, that is a symbol of creation. And so you will burn out the fear, the fear, the dogma, the beliefs, and following those beliefs that hold you down, and they're also floating. So in a way, you can see a little bit the horizon in the background and the night. So this is happening in we can say in the night, in the transition from our understanding, from our away from the dogma, to come from under those who control us. We rise up to that, what I would call the inner standing, that we are the creators ourselves, and each of us is part of that creator self once we take back our power. And then we have the magic carpet, which shows the moment when we burn away all this earthly fears, all these negative energies that are holding us down. We see the beautiful wings here also. And here the flying carpet, the magic carpet, is that our life becomes magic. It's not anymore that we need to rely on others, that we have to ask for help. It's really hot here, sorry, I'm tripping. That we can help ourselves with that connection. It's all three cards, they all point to the same information about going into the true self that we are, that creative self that we are. Then all those beings, like we, remember I talked about the spies, that we have incarnated here into this false matrix, and we had to play the role and play along for many years. Now comes that call, that telephone call or whatever, that now it's your time, now do your spy work. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing in a moment with awakening people. We let our light shine more strong, more clearly for people to see. And it is now the time that so many people can stand up. I wonder, I have so much information that comes in, I cannot even follow up anymore at all. I just pick out some of it, but I can see everywhere the same, that it's still like people start to wake up to something outside of the false matrix. Even if we still are inside to a certain degree, we can say the divine matrix or the universal matrix, the right divine light matrix is already here, and they are overlapping. So in the moment, we can say 1 foot in the false matrix, 1 foot in the new matrix. And by the way, matrix is not something bad. It's just we need a matrix to have some experience. So this is happening. So don't worry about the matrix itself. And then the last card, we have the Joker. And in that way, you see here, the life is kind of like a maze. We go here and turn around certain corners, and we have an experience. And the experience, we experience the world. And you see the world is actually down below. So that means that the fool or the Joker has the control of his creative abilities, and he can roll the dice and then can choose whatever experience he want to have in the moment. He has the control over that too. It's like a box down here that he is also, we can say that's the box of the Pandora, where everything what is happening is inside, and once we open it, we have many opportunities. We can also look at this in a little bit a different way, because everything what we've learned, everything what we've told has two sides, and we have only been introduced to one side that is serving the false metrics. Now see, he has many different hats. He sees in all directions. And the lotus flower is on his white head. And the symbol of the lotus flower is having the root in the dirt, in the mud, and the flower is coming through the water up towards the sun. And this is the human being with the feet. We have to have the feet in the ground, on the ground, that we are able to walk, to experience, to have this maze, to have this experience of what life is. And then we can move forward into that higher consciousness, that God consciousness that is already within us. We just have to claim it. I think claim it is the right word to use here. So we have to first understand that abundance is our nature, as is nature all around us. And once we let go of the fear, and what I did actually, like for example, in my life is a pattern that many things that I manifest, I did not finance myself. The people came in and gave me money to do it. Because some people, they figured out that this is a good idea or whatever, and they finance it. And it's a little bit like now with this beautiful piece of land that I have. I have already planted a huge orchard with 200 different fruit trees. We get gardens, and we are looking for people to build a few houses here in that peaceful, very peaceful, beautiful area. And once I know that these people will be attracted by that, what is already here, so I have to create the first steps, what is already here, and then the others are attracted by this energy. They contact me usually and they say, okay, I really think that's a good idea, I want to help. And what I have experienced since I live here in the north of Thailand, this is a very peaceful place. I'm even more north than the famous Chiang Rai, which is already completely overflown by all kind of tourism and whatever. But Chiang Rai is still quite, is much more quiet. So it is that part of that abundance that I have created over the years, to plant the beautiful place, plant all these trees, like bit by bit, what I could do, what I could afford. And then later the people will come in who would like to be part of that. And see, this is what is going on in life for everybody. Once you start to create what you want, and you have maybe to create, to dream about it, to visualize it, to make drawings, and suddenly you will maybe talk to somebody about it, and oh, that's a very interesting idea, tell me more. And this is how things are coming together. And this is the moment when you move out of this dark consciousness, out of fear, and are catapulted by the magical carpet into control. No, that I don't like the word control again. Control sounds like matrix again, and then like mind. To create your own life, to create the reality that you want to live in. And we don't have to wait until that solar flash or whatever happened. We can create it now. We have to move forward and not wait. Maybe it's happening tomorrow, maybe it's happening in 10 years, you don't know. So if people would know, they maybe just would sit back and wait till things are happening. But this is not the reason why we're here. We are That's why we are active. That's why our creative abilities are constantly here, and we have ideas. And the good thing about ideas is that, you know, it also helps us to be alert to what is around us. And once we are alert to our environment and what we are confronted with, then it's also a point when we can move forward into what we really want. And then is the moment that people are coming together and create little communities that that are already within the spirit of the fifth dimension, moving into a higher realm. It's not difficult, you know, it's actually our true nature. So whenever you want to know if you're on the creative side or not, because your head will always second guess everything. This is again the program that is kicking in as long as we are here in the moment. And so whenever second guessing is, go back to that very first impulse you had. Maybe make some notes or make some drawing or sketch or whatever to keep it alive. Because the problem when you go with your head, in the end, you don't remember anymore what was your first impulse. So this is similar with dreams, like when you have dreams or visions at night, they are gone afterwards. If you are coming completely from one realms, and many of you probably have the similar experience that sometimes when they wake up they have that kind of feeling and heart beating like crazy, because you know you come from very far away. And that's what we actually do at night. We are not in the body. The body is here waiting for us to return. And then we can take a few notes, or if you can use a microphone to talk a few words, if this is maybe easier. And then you can go back to sleep, and in the morning when you focus on it, when you listen it, you can recall the vision. So this is what we are doing right now, to become actually that one, to become the one to control the world. This Joker is not a fool in a earthly say, like stupid, but this is the one that is enlightened and does not have to play the games anymore. And I have experienced many times in my life when I did not play the game, I was supported. And I was supported sometimes in the most incredible ways. Never where I was expecting the support from, but in really, really very interesting ways. And that's what I wish for you too, that you get this experience of being supported, that experience of having this aha, wow, that is very fantastic to go through and see how things are coming together. It's not much you have to do, actually. In fact, remember, all you have to do is remember that all is already here. And you are a divine being having a human experience, and you are not a human being. Well, I hope that helps you to go through the next few weeks or whatever coming. It will be a little bit rocky sometime, but stay with your visions and you will have a lot of very interesting experience, especially during this time. Okay, next reading will be a moon reading. Take care of yourself. See you soon again. Bye-bye.